Have you ever had a moment when truth just struck you? It came like a lightning bolt to your soul. One minute something was hidden from you, and the next moment you saw it. That sudden awakening of truth is what Augustine called a flash of truth. And for the Christian writer who wants to write faithfully, we must learn to recognize those flashes of truth. Hi, I'm Cara Ray. I'm the founder of the Writer's Block community and podcast. We are an online community of Christian women writers who want to grow in the art and heart of writing. I'm also the author of The Pursuit of Holy Leisure, Enjoying God in Everyday Places. Holy leisure is a heart posture of enjoying Jesus in His Word and through prayer. It requires that we meditate on the good and the true and the beautiful, which are represented and personified in Jesus Christ. Holy leisure then happens when we meditate on Jesus and on His Word, and it also happens when we write about them as well. By the way, I talk about that bridge between holy leisure and our creative endeavors in my book. It's chapter 8 if you're interested. Anyway, today I want to talk to you about what I believe is the Christian writer's first obligation. There's so much to think about when we write, but before we explain or persuade or polish a sentence, we have to be willing to see. We need to recognize those flashes of truth when they come. So, what is a flash of truth? Well, you know the feeling when you suddenly see something that you hadn't seen before, or something old is refreshed in a way that captures your attention and your heart. That is a flash of truth. Not long ago, my husband and I were driving along the freeway at night when something happened so quickly that we weren't even sure what we had seen. A flash of light lit up the night sky, and a millisecond later, we heard this explosive crack and boom. We both reacted the same way. What was that? My husband adjusted the rear view mirror, and we turned to look through our back window. And behind us, in the dark night sky, a telephone pole stood like a pillar of fire. It had been struck by lightning. It was unnerving about how close that was. 1 second, we were driving along, and the next, the sky split open with light. That poor telephone pole never knew what hit it, but the after effects were undeniable. And I kept thinking, this is often how truth works. It strikes, it illuminates, it exposes, it reveals what had been hidden before in the dark. Have you ever experienced that kind of lightning bolt of truth? Maybe one moment you didn't believe in Jesus, and then the next, by God's grace, the truth landed on your soul, and suddenly you did believe. Or maybe you believed something that was untrue about God or yourself or about suffering and sin. And then all of a sudden, the flash of truth comes through and you understand something clearly that you didn't understand before. Flashes of truth are those moments that we want to share with others, new insights we've gleaned, new connections we've made. The truth has come to bear on us in a way that's worth writing about, that's worth sharing. But when we recognize a flash of truth in God's word or in creation or in life in general, we need to remember that that truth aligns with God. Truth is not just a principle, but a person. All truth belongs to God. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. He doesn't merely tell us the truth or point us to the truth. He is the truth. So when we talk about seeing truth, we're not talking about chasing vague inspiration or a collection of beautiful ideas. We are beholding something true. We are seeing. We do not manufacture the light, but we receive it and we testify to the one who is true. And this is where holy leisure matters deeply for writers, because if we're always rushing, always producing, always trying to turn every experience into content, we may miss the very truth God is inviting us to see. Even though holy leisure sounds restful, it's not laziness or passivity. It's the unhurried pursuit of knowing and enjoying God through His Word and through prayer and through the ordinary places where He teaches us to see. And when we bring holy leisure into our writing, we learn to dwell with truth instead of just grabbing at it. So how, as writers, can we get better at recognizing the truth and pointing our readers to see the truth as well? Well, We need to learn to ask better questions. So here are 5 questions we can ask ourselves to write truthfully. Question 1. What truth am I holding up for them to behold? Am I presenting that truth faithfully without adding or subtracting from what God's word has said? Question 2. Am I reporting what is actually there? This is such an important question for writers. We need to ask ourselves, am I seeing what's really there? Or am I seeing what I wish was there, or what I fear was there, or what would make for a better story? Faithful writing requires honesty. We do not force meaning into something just because it makes the piece stronger. We tell the truth. Question 3. Does sin or darkness feel real? Sometimes Christian writing can rush so quickly to get to the hope and to the resolution that sorrow never really had its weight. But if darkness does not feel dark, the light will not be as glorious. If sin does not feel terrible, grace will feel sentimental. If suffering is treated lightly, comfort will feel cheap. So we have to ask, have I rendered the difficulty honestly? Question 4, did I stay in the difficulty long enough? This is where writing can become uncomfortable. We often want the relief as much as our reader does. We want to get to the resolution. But sometimes the most faithful thing we can do is wait. Question 5, would a reader who has lived this recognize it? This question is especially important when we're writing about grief, suffering, temptation, or any other human experience. Would someone who has actually walked through this say, yes, that's true? That is what we want as Christian writers. Not cleverness for its own sake, but we want to write one true sentence after another. So I think Augustine was onto something. The Christian writer's first obligation is to see. We don't have to know all the answers to all the questions, but we should labor to see the truth. And then with humility and courage to testify. So friends, write faithfully, write beautifully, and write from rest. If you want help examining your writing through the lens of what is good and true and beautiful, I created a free writer's examination guide for you. It will walk you through these questions and so much more to help you write faithfully, truthfully, and from a place of holy leisure. You can find that link in the description below. And if this video has encouraged you, I'd love for you to subscribe and share it with other Christian writers. Leave me a comment below and tell me, where have you experienced a flash of truth? I'd love to hear what the Lord is helping you to see. If you're ready to grow in the art and heart of writing, visit us at mywritersblock.com.